Hello everybody, Iain Robson here. Welcome back to another episode of Small Town USA. So today we got all the fields ready to go. As you can see, got 27, 32, 1, and 4 is just being fertilized right now. I got the John Deere on it with the little sprayer. It doesn't look so bad with the regular size tires on it, but with the narrow tires it just looks just silly in my opinion. So I'm going to leave it with the big tires, and as I mentioned before, I don't have crop destruction on, so that's why it's not doing anything, so that's why it's not destroying the crop. And we are getting close to our number for, I should say, getting close to our number for our tractor that we would like to get, which is the John Deere one there. Why doesn't it want me to turn this on? Is it not unfolded? Or is it folded? It's half unfolded, it looks like. You can see there, it looks like it's half unfolded. Yeah, that's the reason why. I don't know why it's half folded. Oh well. Alright, so we got beans in here, it looks like. No, it's canola. Alright, so what I'm going to do is, let's grab, as you can see, I just have all of this all over the place right here for the time being, just because this was what I was working on last time I was playing. So that's the reason why it's all over the place. Let's grab this guy right here, I think. 7700 here. And what we'll do is we'll put this guy on the unloader, I think. Excuse me. So I'm still recovering, or I'm recovering from a little cold, so if I cough or if I pause for a brief second and sneeze, that's the reason why. I'm feeling a lot better now than I have been the last little while. It's the reason why I'm recording right now. It was bizarre. You know, you get one of those times it just kind of like hits you like a train, and then it's like boom, and then you're sick basically. Oh no, I don't want to go over here. So because we're really close, I'm not going to use the overloader wagon that we picked up last time. I'm just going to stick with the other trailer over here, the G.Skill, I guess, because we have a bigger tractor, so I might as well use it. Alright, let's go ahead and pick up this. I don't need to use my it's funny, I've been playing the server the last couple days, so like I'm so used to using the mouse to control the view, but we have keyboard steering on here, so I don't need to control it in the same way. Alright, what field is this? Field number 1. Let's go ahead and set it up for field 1 unload. And nearest. And you want to drive into the fence? There we go. And what we'll do is we'll get this guy lined up here, like so. So in the end, if we want to, we can always have the courseplay driver do his thing. What we'll do is we'll just put the pipe out. There we go. In case, well, just so the courseplay driver can align. Because one of the weirdest things with courseplay is that if you don't have your pipe out, it will come like really close to you first, and what will happen is it won't realize where it's supposed to be in order to unload the combine, so you kind of have to adjust yourself a little bit. So like in this context, if I have the pipe in, it'll come really close to me right here, but then as you put the pipe out, it'll, oh look, there's that's where the unloading point is, kind of thing. That's what it does. So that's the reason why it kind of does that weird thing. And interesting little fact here, had a good little suggestion from Alex, actually. He was suggesting, well, this is what he did on his farm, I should say. He wasn't making a suggestion, but this is what he did. He actually put the grass field up on 27 up there, so it's close to the barn, which actually makes sense, as opposed to doing what I'm doing, take it all the way up there. But it's a smaller field, so you don't make nearly as much money, I guess. So it's kind of like a, well, your choice sort of thing. So there we go. Apparently our John Deere is done, so what I'll do is I'll swing this guy around here in a second, and I'll take care of that John Deere because he's just chilling out there. The other John Deere. Now the funny thing about the the John Deere we're going to get is that it's apparently super loud. I didn't notice it because I guess it's the way I have my sound set up. I don't notice it nearly as much, but apparently it's loud. Or so I was told, at least. Alright, let's make a turn here. Get started over here. So if you have any suggestions for what we should do next episode, by all means, leave a comment below with what your suggestion is. I'm all ears. I love combining, so often I will end up combining a lot. Well, it's one of the reasons why I end up combining a lot, just because it's one of the things I like to do. So that's the reason why it gets done a lot. And what we'll do is we'll request the driver, so he'll come around here. It'll take us time to get aligned. And while he's aligning, we'll just pick this guy up, so I don't have to see that message anymore. Interesting little fact, with the new versions of Courseplay, they actually turn the tractor off. It used to just sit there running for a long time. They actually turn it off. And also when it's, so like let's say the Courseplay driver's driving and it has the fertilizer spreader on, like right here, like this, and it runs into something, it'll actually, so what it'll do is like it'll come here, and then if there's something in its way, it'll stop, and then it'll actually turn off the spreader, which is kind of neat. It never used to do that, so we'll just leave that there for the time being. But I thought that was super cool that it actually did that. It never used to, but now it has changed. So this is the version, of course, by Hava, version 5.01.00101. So 101 is the version I have. So it's one of the latest versions. And apparently there are some problems with it, but thus far I haven't had problems with it. It's still beta, so I expect problems all the time. There hasn't been an official release yet, but we have, there's been no official release, but how long has it been now? 6 months? I forget. A while. It's been a while already, so I'm kind of surprised there's not an official release, but the betas are working well. But it was a big change from 15 to 17 in terms of like what they allowed or what they changed in the game, so I'm not surprised. It's kind of like, you know, having this much difficulty, I guess is the word, or I guess they're not really having difficulty, but taking their time, I guess. 1 second, coffee break. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what the deal is there, but it is just the way it's going for the time being. So we actually don't need that much more money, come to think of it. 375,000, so we need like another 50 grand, I guess, something like that. Not very much, to be honest with you. Not at all. In the greater scheme of things, now that I think about it. 50 grand, yeah, that's nothing. Nothing at all. So what I'll do is, where's my other, let's just hire worker here for a quick second. Where's my other guy? Right here. So what I can do here is, let's take the weight off for the time being, because we don't need the front weight. Leave it there. What we'll do is we'll change out our, also, someone was asking about this with the Kun DLC. Does that have the door? I didn't know you could do that. That's awesome. I didn't know that was capable of doing that. Is there anything else on the outside that I didn't know about? I think that's probably it. That's still pretty awesome, though. I didn't even notice that. Anyways, this right here, even though, or despite the fact that it has the narrow tires on it, it still creates, still destroys the crop, unfortunately. So. Alright, so let's grab this guy and we'll head over to the grass field and get that started over there, because that's a pretty significant source of money, if we're honest here. So let's come over here, change the narrow tires out because we don't really need these for this particular task. What do we got here? Narrow, wide front, rear, no front, wide rear. No front, narrow rear. I guess that's the one we want. Let's find out here. Nope. That seems like it's the same thing. How about just standard? Oh, what's it? That's bizarre. Wheel setup. Duals and weights. Duals. Just the standard is what we're looking for. Oh, now those tires look weird now. Are those really the size of tires that would normally come with this thing? They seem so small. I didn't even notice that. Rear duals. Wide spacing. Wide and weight. Wide. Let's go for the wide ones. That still looks kind of not wide at all. Are the American versions of this tractor actually have small tires like that? Those are the wide ones? That's bizarre. I think the 7700 has bigger tires than that then. I don't know if there's a particular tire you would use for grass stuff. A turf tire, I guess, but in this scenario we don't have turf tires, so. Alright, so is that the front or the rear? I can never remember which side's which for this particular mower. That's the wrong side here. Oh no, that was the right side. No, flail's in the back. That's the only way I can remember it. So let's grab this guy right here. We'll get the mower working here as well. And if you ever want to wash your equipment, but you're like me and you don't really want to manually wash it all, you can always just hit up the console commands and make it rain. But I don't know if everybody would appreciate that, because it's definitely perhaps a cheaty way of doing it, but whatever. Let's see, this is 34, and this is 34 Mo. 34 Mo, 8 meters. There we go. And set it in fieldwork mode. And then after doing this, we should be able to afford that John Deere. First waypoint. There we go. Should be being the keyword here. Alright, is it going to do its thing? So I believe the way we have it set up right now is we take a look at the course. Yeah, it goes up and down and then does headlands. Perfect. And if you're wondering what that was, that's a little eye right here. That's what that thing does, so. Nice. Looks like the combine's doing its job. Let's take over here once again, because I like the combine. Actually, on the server, it's a lot of fun to have when you have a good setup of guys, or people, I should say, because I'm not always guys. When you have a good setup, it's nice to have the combines and the trucks and the overloaders all working together. On a big field, of course. Like on some of the smaller fields, it's not really necessary to have the overloaders, but on some of the bigger fields, it's really nice to have that. So I don't think I picked up any new mods lately. There haven't been too many ones that really have jumped out at me. Actually, that's not true. There's one. This one's been around for a while though, but it's kind of neat. Where is it here? This one right here, which is kind of neat for root crop storage. Only holds 300,000 though, which I think is not very much, but I guess it's enough. And then this little guy right here for general storage of sugar beets, wood chips. Oh, it stores wood chips too. I didn't realize that. Straw, hay, grass, forage, silage, 500,000 liters. So it used to be 300, but the guy changed it to 500. And I think that's it. Yep. And this little guy is from SOB modding. Don't use it very often, but it's like a little windmill to produce money. That's how it works. Or I don't know if it's not really a wind turbine, it's a windmill, but you can use it in such a way, so it's kind of neat. So I'm sure because I'm in the cab, people are going to be like, "Oh, you should wash the cab or wash your tractors," which is why I mentioned about the making it rain sort of thing. So to each their own, I suppose. Here we go. I do like these Macdon headers; they're pretty slick. I love how you can see the auger spinning there. It's so sweet. Actually, it's not true. There's one other. I don't know if I actually did I enable that mod. There's one other mod that came out which is interesting. Oh no, I didn't enable it. It's a Case Titan. It's a fertilizer spreader. Super small width though. I was kind of surprised. It only does 18 meters, But with the 18 meters, you're able to, well, you're able to spread fertilizer, and that's it. But it's like a self-propelled solid fertilizer spreader. So I would have rather seen like a Rogator Terragator, I think it was called. No, Terragator is the name I'm thinking of, which is the one that spreads fertilizer. Oops. Which is pretty slick. We used to have one on 15, I believe. I don't think it ever made its way over to... Oh no, do we have one of those? I don't think so. The Terragators? I don't know. Have you ever heard? Have you ever seen one of those, or heard of those? If you've seen one, you know how huge they are. They're like one of the biggest ones that I've ever seen in real life, at least. So it's pretty crazy to see. At least in my opinion, because they're just so massive. Like even combines like this, like if you ever see these combines in real life and you actually stand beside them and look at them, you're just like looking up at them going, holy moly, that is huge. But in the game you don't get a sense of the immensity of it. And that's to be expected, really, right? Alright, so I think what we'll do is we'll get this guy rolling. And I think what we'll do is we'll jump over into the other tractor and we'll start raking up that field over there. Because I have done lots of combining, I'm sure. Let's grab the rake over there. Don't need this course loaded anymore. Close that. But I'm still considering putting a shed right here, just for the haymaking equipment, just because this is where I've been keeping it for the time being. Although moving it up to field 27 wouldn't be a terrible idea either, honestly. Alright, we could get some animals soon too. Alright, lower that down. Like I said, the way I have it set up is goes up and down the field here and then does the headlands after. So I think I could set it up so it follows this same course. I'm just going to load it. I don't want to see it. There we go. Really? You're not going to turn on for me? Okay. Sometimes I don't understand why you're able to do some things and other things with drive control. It's bizarre. Like with drive control, I'm not able to turn this rake on, but some other things I'm able to. Can I raise and lower it? No, I can't do that either. So might just be the implement itself, because sometimes you can and it's perfectly fine. Other times doesn't work at all. I don't know why. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know if there's any particular reason for it, but it just seems it's kind of frustrating in the way, because you're just like, okay, well, why aren't you working? There we go. So I'm just gonna leave it lowered. We got lots of space to turn around here, so. And we want the second one right here. There we go. Try and put 3 into 1 here. In reality, this would probably create a pretty big swath, I imagine. It doesn't look like much in here, but in real life it would be quite a bit, I imagine. I don't know, it depends how much hay you had. Every year is different. Like in this game, it's the difference is like, I guess you can make bigger swaths, but in the end it's not like you don't really notice it in the same way. But in real life, I'm sure you would. Like if your swath was way too big and you were trying to, like, let's say, you know, bale it, you would definitely see the difference. 3 into 1, so I need this one right here. You would definitely notice the difference. Like if you're, as you drive through it with your baler, you would hear the baler just chugging. I'm sure of it. It would just be ridiculous. There we go. Nice. I don't do much raking, actually, now that I think about it. I do a lot more combining. I shall have to mix it up a little bit. That is one of my curses, I suppose. I'm such a creature of habit. I'll almost always do the same thing, just because that's what I like doing. I'm sure a lot of people are like that too. Let's see here. I feel like you can't see very well out of this windscreen for whatever reason. Might just be my might be the fact that it's not clean, but I don't think it would honestly make a difference. I think it's just the glare, because it has like a white glare to it. Like if you look right here, it's a bit of a glare. But in this view, you can see it perfectly, so I don't know. Maybe there's another reason for it, who knows. Oops, let's try and follow the path here a little bit. But I don't know. Depends where you are in the world, actually. One of the interesting things is like here in Canada, or at least in Ontario also, I can't say Canada because Canada's huge and it's completely different in some different parts of the country. But in Ontario, I haven't seen too many of these this style of rake. I've seen a lot more of the I guess what kind of rake have I seen now that I think about it? Not many rakes actually. The older style rakes a lot of time. I guess I'm around a lot of smaller farms, so that's the reason why I see the old school like New Holland rakes, one that runs off the tires. Not everybody has old one lily farmer style equipment, so I can't expect everyone to have that style. Well, it's fun to watch, but I did see some H&S. I think it's Heston. No, it's H&S, not Heston. It's different. I have to remember that. I did see some H&S haymaking equipment, which was kind of neat to see. Oops, let's go here. It was pretty interesting because like I'd never seen it in real life, but they actually had some nice equipment there. They had a wheel rake, I think, and a couple other things at the farm show this year. So it's kind of neat to see. I just went through it like super quick too. I was just like, all right, I got you know, I don't forget how long it was. It wasn't very long, honestly. I think it was like an hour and a half, 2 hours, something like that. After work too. So I kind of went there straight after work. Went through a few things. Didn't really talk to many people because I didn't really have many questions at that time. I was tired, so didn't feel like asking many questions, I think was the part of the problem as well. That's what usually happens though. Nice. It's a big windrow there, or it looks big. Now the funny thing is when you have that mower, when you have the baler running, it's kind of interesting to see how it all how it works together with this tractor I'm referring to, at least, because this tractor now with the upgrades I think is like 200-ish. No, 150, 200. What are you saying, Ian? The other one that we have is the 200 one. The 7030 Premium, I think that one. That one's a big one. No, it goes up to 200 at least. Apparently I missed a little bits there. That's what you get for not using courseplay. You can tell I'm doing this and not courseplay because the lines aren't straight at all. Well, some of them are, some of them aren't. I'm trying to make it keep them straight, but I'm still missing stuff. That's what happens when you talk too much. Now the problem is, if you want to manually bale this grass, it's not a problem. But if you want to have courseplay set up now, it may not get all of it just because the way I've raked this now. So that's gonna be the funny part. There we go. Turn. Yeah. There's that line I was talking about. That's too funny. Ah, well. C'est la vie. One thing I don't like about this particular field is that fence over there. It prevents you from certain maneuvers, which is bizarre. Just with some of the equipment, like that's the only reason why I have it doing headlands. I wouldn't normally have it do headlands around on a grass field, but just because of the way the field's set up, I basically have to in order for the courseplay to run properly or anything like that. So there we go. Make a turn. Excellent. Oh, that was a bad turn. It's funny, I was looking at the proceeds mods, and some people, it's really interesting because like some people are like, I would never use that mod. I have no particular reason to use it. And other people are like, yeah, it's a great mod. So it's kind of bizarre to see like people's perspectives on it, because like some people are just like, it doesn't make any sense to use it at all, just because the way they play. And other people are like, no, like it makes perfect sense. So I guess it depends on how much realism you want to add into it, and like whether you think that's necessary or not. The one thing that I like about it is the fact that it you can turn off the fertilizer. That's the only thing I think I would use on a regular basis. Because like, let's say you fertilized a field already. Like, let's say, so because we don't have any cows over here, but let's say if we did, I would fertilize this field with like slurry or manure or something like that. And having that fertilizer shut off would be nice for course play and stuff like that. You just shut off the fertilizer and just seed, because like most seeders have that kind of the fertilizer component to it. So most of them, at least, not all of them. I think the one we have does. And actually, if you look at the Big Bud DLC, they actually have a couple interesting seeders in there. If you haven't checked that out already, they have what do they have in there that's interesting? They have, I think is it Burgo? No, the Seed Hawk one. There we go. They have a big Seed Hawk seeder, which is awesome, because Seed Hawk is a Canadian company based out of well, originally it was based out of Saskatchewan, so it's kind of neat to see that in the game. And they also included a Great Plains seeder, a planter I should say, for corn and whatnot, which is kind of neat. So alright folks, I think what I'll do, I'll end the episode there. Otherwise I will just continue raking this field and going through the paces, I think. But if you have any suggestions for next episode, like I said before, apparently I can open and close the door on this one too. If you have any suggestions for next time, be sure to leave them below. My name's Iain Robson. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button for some more Small Town USA. Catch you guys later.